natatorium must go on.
Good evening, and this is 2020 in the year 2020. I'm Susan Egan.
And I'm Nate 73. First breaking news. More of the Nates have shown up. The early experiments by bioengineer Julie O'Brien, which first started off in 2001, has made an outbreak again. Many of the Nates are in regular society already. One of them is actually the Pope. Now to you.
Well, in Rwanda, tribal bloodlust and political rivalry have turned the country into an unmanageable hell of killing, looting, and anarchy. Basically, a pretty nice place to live under today's standards. There's even talk about U.S. troops going in to settle the matter. But as your president, I promise not to let the troops go in. We don't need to have our pictures up there next month.
Now about the Armageddon turtles. They've escaped from the natatorium. Nothing can be done about these turtles. They're just unleashing their fury on the town of Danvers, Massachusetts. They plan on going to New York very soon. Why, I do not know. What?
Can we break for a commercial, please?
What the hell is your problem?
What do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing?
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to do my show.
Okay, all right. I know.
You know what? What are you touching me for?
I can't.
All right, stop. I get Mike.
This is unbelievable.
New anchor.
This is unreal. What is that? What is happening to me? I'm supposed to be the president. This is a good thing that I'm doing for you people. I need someone I can work with. Can I work with you, please? All right, let's try this again. We should be coming back now. Okay, are we ready now? Can we work with this now? I need to put up with this.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to 2020 in the year 2020. I'm here with the President of the United States. So how's everything going in the White House?
Oh, everything's just fine. You know, things get kind of difficult sometimes. You know, those Republicans trying to stick it to me. You know, being the first woman president, I feel a need as a Democrat to express my opinions. It's about time that a woman can step forth. You know, back in the good old days, we had women that weren't afraid to speak up. Do you remember Hillary Clinton? She said what she thought. Her husband practically handed over the presidency to her. She dealt with everything that there had to. As I was saying, I feel that in the year 2020, it should be okay for anyone of any race, creed, sex to just come out and speak their opinion. And that's why I do this. Excuse me?
Oh, good.
Okay. Well, I think we should break to a commercial at this time.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Hi, welcome back to 2020 in the year 2020. One of our main stories tonight is of the pirate radio station WSNM has recently announced that it's sick and tired of the way that the government has been treating the general public. President Sean Guilford states, "We believe in the philosophy of survival of the fittest. But this asinine idea of the government having everything ain't gonna work." Guilford took over the small country radio station shortly before the government shut down all of the radio stations that were left after the Great Ratings War of 2008. The corrupt government of Shannon Foey stated, "There will be no unauthorized broadcasting of anything over my airwaves. This includes the radio." Guilford, 44, has been in radio since the turn of the century and would not be forced into silence. He has been hiding from the authorities since 2010, broadcasting from remote locations There is a $100,000 reward for any information leading to his capture, and a $1 million reward for his actual capture, dead or alive. What you writing?
We're gonna be on soon. I do have to write a story.
Oh, before we go on, you want to go for dinner?
Excuse me.
Was your father a thief?
Excuse me?
He stole the moon and the stars and put them in your eyes.
Do I have to
Yeah.
put up with this? I don't understand. Where do you find these people? Is there not one decent male that can do this job?
I'm sorry. Actually, there isn't a decent male, but we got someone for you. It's close to a male. Trust me.
Well, we don't need any more males around this place.
Trust me, it's not like a real male.
If I could run this station like I run my government, it would be all female. Are we ready to go on now? Are we ready?
Natasha?
Hi, this is Natasha number 108. How have you been, Susan?
Oh. I have been just fine. What did you say your name was?
Natasha. 108.
108. Well, it's a very striking tattoo you have there.
Oh, this is how they tell all of us apart. Pretty simple,
You know,
actually.
you look awfully familiar.
Well, you've seen my counterpart, Nate 73. Well, what's left of Nate 73?
Is there anything left of Nate 73?
Yeah, but I seem to have given him a hand doing certain things. What? I don't know.
Well, anyways, back to the news. This is just a sample of what yesterday's fashion was. This conservative taste of fashion is taken from a decade ago. What has happened to fashion since then? Right now we're in fashion anarchy. There is no rules. Anything goes in today's society. There's something wrong. We should get back to the conservative days, back when fashions like that were commonplace, where there were rules, there were regulations. Unlike, well, today's standards, which personally I don't seem to be able to find. Today, there are no standards. Anarchy is no longer for government. It's for everyday society. Not the way people act, but the way they look. If you're gonna act like you don't want to follow any rules, at least try to fake it. I mean, you know, tattoos, transvestites on television, next to people with status that, you know, I don't understand how, like I said, I don't really understand how it's possible for such separate classes to clash in such a commonplace setting. It's not right, it's not fair, and as your president, I should do something about that. You know, having an all-women democracy for a government, I feel that things have to be changed. Things have to be set back to the way they used to be. Why, with my ideas and my know-how, this country's going to be okay. I've got many women on my staff. They know how to dress, they know how to act. They have the conservativeness it takes. And I just don't...
How are you?
I'm fine. And you are?
You know, that's a really good question. My name is... God.
I'm sick of having to die.
You couldn't think of a name fast enough.
I have an idea how to get rid of Chuck Wood. No, I was Chuck before, and now I have to be like Dick. Dick.
Well, Dick.
Just call me Dick.
Guys, I'm terrible at this. I'm babbling.
I know, but it sounds good. It
It's
sounds
funny,
good.
because we're setting up the jokes. You're like our,
You
what do
say-
you call it? What's the person that sets up all the jokes?
Straight man.
Straight man.
You're a straight man. What?
I'm like, what all women democracy?
We have 14 minutes done?
My idea.
14 minutes of this is done.
How can that be?
Obviously.
can't be right.
We've only had like 3 stories.
I could see if we have like
3 stories.
6.
Nice arm hair.
Natasha.
Hey, we got to start doing real stories now.
I'm doing this one now. Novelist, Peony.
Me?
You should
Yeah.
say something
Then I'll
about
talk
the
about.
meeting.
I'm going to talk about all you
Talk
people
about
now.
my things. I can never talk about
Right after this is done, you can go to your virtual reality. Then I want to do my
Where
editorial.
are we starting from?
And then after that, you do something, then I'll do my editorial. And then Sean's got to do something. You do something, then I'll do my editorial. And then Sean's got to do something.
And your name is?
My name would be Jim.
Well, Jim, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you very
Susan.
much. Do you have any pertinent news to add to this?
Well, I don't know how pertinent you want to call it. I'm here to actually do the entertainment news. First off, we have novelist and cyberpunk activist and president of the James Obar Philosophical Society, Brian Peony, just won the Nobel Peace Prize for his novel A Bar Called Sneakers. The original winner was Kevin Bloom for his novel entitled, too dark, stop. Let me read this first. How to Talk Like an Adolescent. Okay, the name thing again.
And your name is?
My name is Jim.
Well, nice to meet you, Jim. I'm Susan Egan.
Hello, Susan.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, I'm great.
Great.
Do you have any news to add to this tonight?
I certainly do, Susan. I'm here to talk to you about the world of entertainment. To start off, we have novelist, cyberpunk activist, and president of the James Obar Philosophical Society, Brian Peony, who has recently won the Nobel Peace Prize for his novel A Bar Called Sneakers. The runner-up was Kevin Bloom for his work entitled How to Talk Like an Adolescent.
That was very good. You know, I've heard him speak. He
Have
does
you?
it to a T.
Ah, great. Then he was the perfect person to write the novel.
Perfect.
Yes. Peony hasn't admitted to knowing where the teacher has disappeared to, considering teacher Kevin Bloom is reportedly missing at the moment. Also, Peony has just funded a new computer animation police force consisting of computer-generated images. He states that all crime as we know it will cease, or else. He never finished his sentence because he had to supervise an earlier engagement. Peony is committed to this second novel, Topical Lotions, which will also win the Nobel Peace Prize next year as we see it. You can count on it. He also commented on the mysterious death of George Burns. And apparently Barry Manilow actually had nothing to do with it. Burns is best remembered for his movies and comedies, and he will be sorely missed. In other entertainment news, actor-writer Matthew Diglio has come out of hiding recently. He was spotted last night breaking Nate Wormstead, the original Nate, which all the clones were taken from, out of a maximum security prison. The two are at large and both considered extremely dangerous. If any information is seen or heard of these two individuals, please contact us at 1-800-556-0203. Thank you. That's pretty much it for entertainment news, Susan.
Nate Wormstead. Nate.
Right, Nate, the aforementioned cloning. Yes, biogeneticist Julie O'Brien had actually taken Nate Wormstead and cloned him over and over again to bring us Nate and Natasha and even the reject Nates, even the Nate Zoo that we have right over in the city.
Now, you know, there was this crazy rumor about a Nate clone coming in and actually trying to fill the position of vice president.
Actually, that was more than a rumor. It's true.
Excuse me?
I thought you knew. Well, yeah, Nate,
No, I do not know.
yes, Nate 147 is actually the vice president of the United States.
Being the president, you'd think people would try to inform me of things such as this, but, you know,
Well, Susan,
Sorry, I'm
don't
terrible-
suffer delusions. You're not the
sorry.
president.
I think I'm going to have to go and take care of situations.
Go.
I have to leave.
Situations.
I'm very upset. This cannot happen. Someone such as him is not powerful in office. I need a woman, damn it.
We will be right back after a short commercial break from our sponsor, Nate. Hi, this is Pope Nate III. I'm coming to talk to you about my Pope merchandising. I've decided... This one. Speak? Oh, I love you, babe. Okay. This is Pope Nate III, coming to talk to you about my papal merchandising. Many people have made jokes in the past about such things as Pope on a rope, but I've decided to make it so. The new Pope on a Rope soap. Wash away your sins. All of you sinners out there would love to get your hands on some of this pure, white, right from heaven stuff. God zipped it down to me like that. Number 2, from the Garden of Eden. Look at these, real fern leaves, genetically advanced by Julie O'Brien. Who brought you? Me. Without me, you wouldn't have all these papal merchandisings. That's about it for papal merchandisings now. We'll talk to you later about my cologne, the scents from it, my clothing collection. As you can see, the hats, we've decided the old papal hats were nothing. I'll go with this now. That's about it. Thank you. Bless you all.
I like to use Monostat 108. No problem. Brian, don't look at me. It was your fault.
That's why I walked away.
Walk away.
Okay, Matt.
It's just funny seeing him do it.
You're on the sweater on in a minute. And you're gonna have to mic back up. All right. Rolling. Go.
Hello.
You know, every time I get a yeast infection, I like to use Monistat 1004. It's the most strongly medicated yeast infection medicine that there is without a prescription. Excuse me, I need to go use it. Be half an hour.
Hi, honey, you're home.
Yes, I am. You'll never guess where I've
Where
been.
did you go?
Well, I went back again.
No, not Smiley Nate.
Yep, that's right. Smiley Nate's Antiques.
What'd you get this time?
This time, I actually got a Time magazine, 1994, mint condition. Can you believe it?
That was years ago. Are you kidding?
I know.
Let me
Look,
see.
Richard Nixon, shortly after he died.
That was
Can you believe
forever
it?
ago.
I
Look
know.
at him, he looks so young.
No, he doesn't.
Well, you know.
Your sight's going, honey.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Listen, it's Smiley Nate!
Hello, Smiley Nate. I just purchased a magazine in your store. God, I've missed you. In fact, I think I'm gonna go back right now. Let's go. Let's go to Smiley Nate's.
Yeah, let's go. Hi.
Where in the DMZ is Nate? My mic on?
Oh, yep, mine's on.
How about me? Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah.
play Music. That would help. Oh,
The next one.
it's the next
It was
one.
already
the next
queued. I
one.
don't know
The
what
next
happened.
one. The next one. The next one. The number one sports show, Where in the DMZ is Nate, has just entered its 19th season. In the show, the infamous Nate runs from a different group of contenders each week. This is not a game for the lazy or weak stomach. If the contenders succeed in catching the Nate, they're allowed to kill, maim, or dismember. Music. Mm-hmm.
Why does it keep going back to the second song?
Because it does.
If you listen to the first one, it's fine.
That answers your question. He's a joint. Stop. And in sports news today, the number one sports show, Where in the DMZ is Nate, has entered into its 19th season. In the show, the infamous Nate runs from a different group of contenders each week. This is not a game for the lazy or the weak-stomached. If the contenders succeed in catching the Nate, they're allowed to kill, maim, or dismember Nate in any way they want to. But if they do not succeed in capturing the ever-elusive Nate, they still live through the terrors of this hellish, inhuman world. Nate gets to take care of them in their own special way. If the contenders do not make it this far, they are lost forever in the DMZ. Well, just a quick note on that last story. The Nates used in the game are byproducts of the failed cloning project by bioengineer Julie O'Brien, so henceforth no animals were hurt during this show. So, you're rather quiet.
And I figured I'd let you talk.
Oh, well, you can go with your story now.
Okay, thank you. Got it. So we're gonna set up.
That looks so awesome.
Nate. I know, it's supposed to be. It's part of my gig. It's actually... What is that? Yeah, that's for the crow. All right. Give me that leg. Oh, yeah. Roll that.
Scare people? Aren't people not gonna be scared after a while?
I don't know.
You don't know? You come up with this? What? My God. Yeah, I know. Stay with it. Hey, bring me my other shirt.
My name is Sandy Carr.
Okay, Sandy.
Get ready.
All right, Sandy.
Hi, and I'm Sandy Carr for the weather. This week's weather forecast calls for rain, and more rain. Considering it's been raining for 4 years non-stop, there's no relief in sight. Since the meteor Bob crashed into the Atlantic Sea, the water hasn't stopped falling. The next sunny day is estimated to be around the year 2050. The acid rain that began 10 years ago has begun to cause major problems. Buildings are deteriorating. It is even dangerous to go outside without protective clothing. So don't forget your coat and armor when you walk the dog. Thank you. This is my last day from now on. So please look out your window for the weather report because it just hasn't stopped raining for 4 years straight. I quit. This isn't rewarding work anymore. I'm going to go into the sale of protective latex leisure suits to shield you from the elements. Thank you. And back to you.
Hello, I'm Jones Smith. Tonight, my editorial deals with the gruesome subject of the AIDS colonies, which has been started by our government, headed by President Shannon Foey. These abhorrent wastes of landmass are just completely absurd, sending all patients who have contracted the AIDS virus to the island of Gomorrah just to separate them from society is not going to solve any problems. Until the president realizes that it's not something you can separate from society, until people are aware and know what is going on with the disease, how you can contract it, we're not going to be able to do anything to solve it. I find that the fact that the cure is only available to the super rich abhorrent. Frankly, I'm appalled. The government just should intervene. The treatment of the aforementioned people of the colony in the inhumane conditions in which they have to live, if you want to even call it live, are just so completely outrageous that we need to do something. We need to step in. We need to take a stand. We need to get everyone together. Make the awareness, I mean, tell it to your children. Teach them at a young age. You really have to smarten up. Okay? Everyone, smarten up. That's really it. Thank you. That's it for me.
Thank you. Can you come back and we can say like, and good night, and have a good night.
I want you to stand and go,
We're gonna have no
and then
ending?
come over and go, click
No
the code.
ending?
That's it, we're done.
All right.
So it's
Do you know how long this is already? You're at the end.
like an hour.
Did you do it? Did you get that on camera, the click thing?
Yeah, we got it.
Did you mean laughing if we did it? What?
Said I want my t-shirt.
Nate is Enough, the good old sitcom that keeps going and going because the characters never seem to get any older. On the next episode, Nate 57 and Nate 38 get caught stealing a candy bar and have to sit through a lecture from their dad, Nate 21, and mom, sort of, Natasha 3. Stay tuned for station and time.